There are several things I love about being a chiropractor. One of my favorites is helping my patients play an active role in their healing process. My favorite ones are the biggest skeptics. They've been around the block, they've been to various other practitioners, and the problem has not been solved. And often it will be something a little deeper, something structural, and I tell them they're going to get a lot more benefit out of any other work if they get the primary structural thing fixed. They'll often get off the table after their first visit and look at me and say, I should have been here 10 years ago. And that's incredibly satisfying. Having patients come back after they haven't been here in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, and they've been well and they've been happy and they've remembered.
I'm a musician and I travel a lot for my living, which means I'm constantly in and out of planes, constantly lifting heavy gear, constantly sitting in a van from show to show for several hours. And sadly that just has had its effect on me, and my back goes out. And even in spite of sort of doing, yoga and stretching all that stuff, still goes out. So he is more so than physiotherapy and massage has really been helpful to me in just to get me back in alignment. I've come to this office at times when I can barely walk, and I walk out of here and I can walk out of here,
Yeah, I'm just about to celebrate my 81st birthday, and I do it without any prescription medication. I've never done it. I go to Mark for almost everything, and he always has an answer.
When I see a patient for the first time, we have an hour together. I take a history and do a physical examination, and then I tell the patient what I think my diagnosis is and what my plan of treatment is. And I also assure them that if they don't want to have, for example, their neck adjusted, then we can do other things.
I was in a motor vehicle accident about just over 2 years ago, and I was referred to him by a very good friend of mine. I was very sore for a few years, and then I went away on a trip and was sleeping on different types of mattresses, and I was traveling for a couple of weeks. And when I came back, I didn't have a very good range of motion, and I couldn't sleep and I couldn't sit up for very long. And so my friend referred me to Mark. After being referred to Mark, my condition dramatically improved, and I was overwhelmed by how my body had shifted and changed, and symptoms that I had had even before the motor vehicle accident started to get a lot better.
I like to help the patient heal themselves. I tell them that I'm not the healer, that they are the healer, and that what I'm going to do is do some work with their body to allow them to get better faster. They can use me for acute care, they can use me for maintenance care. I work with other people, physiotherapists and massage therapy, and so I'm a team player, and I think patients appreciate that. I let them have some control in their care, as well as me giving them my professional opinion.
I was in a car accident when I was 12 years old, so I had a lot of soft tissue damage. My spine was not in the greatest of shape. I'm also a violinist, and so I often have problems with my shoulder coming in, so he's helped me out tremendously and kind of straightened me back up and put me back into place, and feeling much better now. I would, without a doubt, refer anyone and everyone to come and see Mark Speakman. He's magic.
In my 17 years of practice, I've had a few wow moments. One of them stands out in particular. It involved a woman who has fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, which often come hand in hand. And I began using a technique. I treated her for probably 8 or 9 years, and I began using a new technique with her, and she came in one morning, and with chronic fatigue, basically they can sleep for 18 hours and wake up completely exhausted because their sympathetic nervous system has been on overdrive, so they've had no rest. And she came in, and I closed the door and I said, "How are you?" And she burst into tears, and she said, "For the first time in 25 years, I slept 8 hours last night and I feel completely rested." And what it means is that I was able to get her system under control. And that, for me, was a wow moment.